My oldest son, he reminds me of so much artistic creation. This nigga taught himself how to play the guitar, and this mother just a player. He played that mother, and he played that mother. He believed that shit with his soul. You hear me? This nigga played the guitar. He leave the house dressed like a magician, and he. It's just him and that goddamn guitar and this mother. Hey, he don't give a f what nobody say neither. You know what I'm saying?
Folks, things just got real messy for T.I. Word is, 50 Cent just dropped some wild DL footage tied to his son, Messiah Harris, and now the whole situation is spiraling out of control. The street saying Tip already lost it behind the scenes, and if that's true, this ain't just rap beef anymore. But before we go any further, let's rewind real quick to understand how things escalated this far, because none of what's happening right now came out of nowhere. This whole situation didn't start with leaked videos or the Harris family drama. It started as something simple, a Verzuz conversation. For years, folks had been pushing the idea of a face-off between T.I. and 50 Cent, two heavyweights, Atlanta versus New York, a cultural moment waiting to happen. And according to Tip himself, this wasn't just fan talk. He claimed the conversation had already happened behind closed doors. But the moment he brought it to the public, everything went left. Because instead of playing along, 50 Cent acted like he had no idea what T.I. was talking about. Now that might seem small, but in rap culture, that's disrespect.
Okay, so first, like, you know, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and then talk back there, bro. This shit, I ain't just called it out the blue.
Yeah.
Me and then talk back there.
You talking about you were 50?
Yeah, man. We talk about this shit, man. This shit just come out of nowhere.
All right.
We were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows while we were around each other, man, you know what I mean? I said, shit, what you think about this? He was like, shit, you wanna do that shit? I said, yeah. He was like, all right, cool. So shit. And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. Right. And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, like he ain't know what the f going on. Then that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? Now, it about, oh, you playing? Okay, you gonna play. All right, cool. But how about all of it? All of it. I don't even want to, man. Cause now I question your character. Any gonna get kick that kind of shit, then, you know, man, just say you don't want to do it. All the other extra lame, man, this shit goofy.
So y'all talked about it, you saying? You went out there.
Years ago. Years ago we spoke about it.
I think it'd be a great battle, though. I think,
man, that ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna happen, man. I don't want to stand on stage with him. I have no interest in standing on stage with that. I don't respect him.
And if you know 50 Cent, you already know he doesn't respond like everybody else. He doesn't just argue, but calmly studies and waits. Then he hits where it hurts the most. At first, it began like regular trolling. Old clips started resurfacing. That whole T.I. snitch narrative from years ago got dragged back into the spotlight. Then came the S.A. allegations from T.I.'s past. He'd move on from, with 50 Cent even teasing a documentary series. He wrote, "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc? Dame thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. They're going to ask about your 20 SA cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person." And when 50 speaks of a documentary, folks listen. Remember when he teased the Diddy docu-series? Folks laughed it off, said he trolling, until Sean Combs' The Reckoning dropped last December. As one dude bluntly put it, Ty turned this man into Steven Spielberg. Another hit hard, saying, Tip made a huge mistake going after 50 Cent. He should have gone after Nelly or Ja Rule. Even Rick Ross was a better option. Album sales don't worth it when your legacy is at stake. But then it escalated further. 50 Cent started posting wild pics about Tiny, T.I.'s wife, mocking, disrespecting, pushing it past music into something personal. Now, most people thought T.I. would handle it directly, but that's not what happened. Instead, his son King Harris jumped in and took things way too far. Social media rants, disrespectful comments, and dragging 50 Cent's late mom into the spotlight. But here's the part nobody saw coming. While everybody was talking about King, 50 Cent was already moving in a different direction. Because if there's one thing about 50, he doesn't attack attack where the noise is. He attacks where it's quiet, and that's where T.I.'s oldest son, Messiah Harris, starts coming into the convo. For years, fans noticed something strange about T.I.'s family dynamic. On T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle, you had the younger kids, Zonique, King, Major, and Harris, all visible, all part of the show. But then there were the older sons, Damani Harris and Messiah Harris, and over time, they just faded out. At first, folks didn't question it. Damani later explained his exit, saying he didn't want to be known as just T.I.'s son or reality TV personality. He wanted his own identity, his own lane in music. He even turned down over $80,000 to stay on the show. That made sense.
Yeah, man, that was a big deal at one point in my life. That was, I said this before, but it was before I knew who I was and what I wanted to do exactly. I was running from that. I was running from that last name. I was running from the legacy. I was running from him a lot. Because I didn't know who I was yet, and until I figured it out, I wanted to do it on my own. And I felt like the more stuff I do on my own, the faster I'll find out who I am.
Right.
So, yeah, I was running from that for a long time. Now I just realized that I just create, I'm an artist, I'm gonna be creative.
But Messiah, that situation never got a clear explanation. He didn't do interviews about it or address it publicly. He just disappeared from the spotlight, and that silence is what the internet started filling in. Rumors started circulating online that Messiah was living a more private lifestyle, reportedly in a DL situation.
T.I. and Tiny might do a lot of questionable things. However, did they keep their child off of TV because he was gay?
Nothing confirmed, but the whispers didn't stop. And now, with 50 Cent involved, those whispers just got louder because, according to what's being said online, 50 didn't just stop at trolling T.I. He allegedly started hinting at deeper family secrets, posting, deleting, dropping breadcrumbs that had people digging into Messiah's past, not directly saying anything, but implying enough for the internet to connect the dots. And if you know how the online community works, you already know that once folks start connecting dots, they don't stop. One user wrote, "When they first came on TV, I knew dude is DL. My DL radar is on point. He is gay, let him come out when he is ready. Leave him TF alone." And I'm talking about Messiah. Another said, "I knew it from when he was little, but he is a great, kind-hearted young man." But now the question is, why Messiah? Why would 50 Cent go there? And the answer might be simpler than folks think. Because out of everyone in T.I.'s circle, Messiah is the least visible, the least defended, and the easiest target. Think about it. King is loud, active, always online. Damani has built his own identity and stepped away clean. But Messiah, he's quiet. And in a situation like this, quiet can be dangerous because you can't control a narrative you're not speaking on. It's no longer about who won a rap battle, but about reputation, image, and everything T.I. built over decades. If even part of all what's popping up is true, it explains why T.I. is reacting the way he is behind the scenes, allegedly. Because this isn't something you can just clap back at with a diss track. This hits different. And here's another question people are starting to ask. If Messiah has been living a low-key life all this time, was that by choice, or was it to avoid exactly this kind of spotlight? Because when you look back, the signs were always there. He wasn't pushed like the others. He wasn't promoted the same way. He wasn't visible in the family brand the way King or the younger kids were. And now, with everything happening, people are questioning if that distance was intentional, not because of who he is, but because of how it might affect T.I.'s image. So now the spotlight is on you. Did 50 Cent really cross a line by dragging T.Y.'s family into this? Or is this just the reality of how far rap beef can go in today's social media era? And when it comes to Messiah Harris, is the internet reading too much into his silence, or has there always been something behind the scenes that people are only now starting to question? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you rock with real talk, hit that like, smash subscribe, and jump into the next video on your screen, or